Hey everybody, Ethan here, and you're on my side of the room. It's been a while since I've given any kind of update, and there's updates to give. Uh, the least of which being I did a show recently. It's been about 3 to 4 weeks now. I can't keep up. um, it was just a solo acoustic show, which I just never thought would be a thing. But I've done two of them since both of my band attempts imploded tremendously. And I just never thought that I was good enough to do solo acoustic, and it turns out I'm passable. And apparently that's where we're at these days. Gone are the days where you had to be a virtuoso and go to Juilliard to do a show. Now you can know what a guitar is and do a show. The thing is, lest I completely denigrate myself, I'm a much better singer than I'm a guitar player. I mean, that is not in any way controversial, and I know it. I took some lessons. I figured out the cowboy chords and bar chords, and then I was kind of done learning the guitar. I've always wanted to be better at guitar. I just never got better at guitar. But it's fine, that whatever band dreams I had are pretty well over. To the point that you see, it's all turned off right now, but you see all my electronic shenanigans behind me. And I'm fine with that. I'm at an age now where it's like, if I can do a band, great. If I can't, oh well. Let the young kids with the piss and the vinegar go do it. But I'm really, really turned off to the whole band thing right now. It's not directed at anybody I used to be in a band with for the time that I was. It's just, the further away from it I get, the less interested I am in starting that up again, trying to get somewhere with it. And these shows I've done lately have kind of really driven it home that you don't really need a band if you want to perform. If that's really what you want to do, is perform, you can do it yourself. You don't even need an instrument. You could sing the tracks. I did for about, we'll say 60-40, guitar singing and then 60% singing the tracks. The thing is, and I got put right about this a long time ago, my voice is my instrument. So between the two things, between guitar playing and singing, I will definitely fight you, bro, about my singing before I ever begin to lift a finger about my guitar playing, because I know it's just a means to an end. If you want to know what key the song is in and how it kind of goes, I can kind of show you on the guitar. But I really rely on people who are better than I am at the guitar to make it sing, as it were, on the guitar. And I've been fortunate that I've had that experience in the past, that people have done that for me. But my singing I've worked on for years. I was actually hospitalized a long time ago, and I couldn't sing. So everything that you're hearing now is the result of a lot of training up, fighting back, getting over what I was hospitalized for, and being able to hold notes. And so, no, I don't think I'm Pavarotti. No, I don't think I'm God's gift to singing. But compared to how I was when I was hospitalized, I got the voice of an angel, baby. And the feedback's been good. Both shows I did, people enjoyed it tremendously. And people took it seriously that I was singing to the tracks, as they didn't think of it as, oh, it must be karaoke night and I'm next. Because that's a big risk when you're singing the tracks. That's the message you can be kind of sending. Or that's the message people are going to be getting off of what you're doing if you don't do it well. But what I advocate to those who want to hear it is a lot of people practice, but they don't practice with the intent of performing. And it really shows. I see it locally with bands that play out. I see it on YouTube with bands doing their stuff. I see a lot of people being caught with their pants down, basically, where a seasoned, skilled performer can handle whatever you throw at them. The batteries can go out in their mic, they can handle it. Their cord could fray, they can handle it. String could break, they can handle it. They've got a way to work around it. They got a way to laugh it off. They got a way to make a bit about it. They've got banter, they got chatter, they got bits, they got the whole thing. And so when I practice for the show, even the track stuff, I had performance in mind. So as an example, I was doing Do-Wah-Diddy. And there's the lines, we walked down to my door. And I was in a room where I was practicing, so I pointed at the door that was closest to me. Well, when I was performing, the door was over there. Well, the muscle memory is point at a door. So if it isn't the one that was there when you're practicing, point at the one that is there when you're performing. But it's baked into the show. Like, you know that's the thing that you're going to do. Another one is the Lido Shuffle. I would make sure I'm doing hand gestures, so I'm not just standing there nailed to the floor and just reciting. Because, again, I know the song. So I'm not reading it like karaoke. I do have the words because I'm in my 50s. Let's, be real here. And brain farts are a thing in your 50s, I'm here to tell you. So having the words close at hand helps, but I don't want to, again, just be reading the words the whole time. Well, with Lido Shuffle, the line was, he's for the money, he's for the show. So I would do, he's for the money, he's for the show. And people ate it up. There's a couple that lives here that the male half of the couple is blind. And the female half of the couple was sitting there describing to him like, oh, it's so funny. He was just pointing at himself when he said he's for the show. Because they were sitting close enough to me that I could hear her say that. So I really liked the feedback I was getting in the moment, and I liked what I was hearing from people after the show. I'll probably do it again next year. I don't think I'm doing it anymore this year. It's one of those kind of here and there things. As you've seen on the channel, I've been kind of putting up some demo stuff so that if I do want to seek out the possibility of going out to iDrive or something like that and doing something next to a swimming pool or whatever for 3 or 4 hours, then maybe I can do that. I really wouldn't do that to tracks, though. I would do it with a guitar, and if I did, I got to really think about what that's going to look like and sound like. So we'll see. Another thing that I did that I was not expecting was I actually performed on a cruise ship recently. Now, I know that's a loaded statement, and I want to unpack this because it can be kind of controversial. I've seen it done on cruise ships where people are drinking, and they're fatheads, and the band's performing, and then they kind of help themselves to the stage and then help themselves to a microphone and think that they're part of it. That's not what this was. So on the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, upon which we are frequent cruisers, if you watch our main channel, there's the Latin duo that's really good. And talk about playing to tracks. They do a lot of performing to tracks, but they perform. Big, 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 big distinction. We were talking between sets, and Jamie said to the duo, she's like, well, Ethan's a performer, and they happen to be out, like, we're Facebook friends. And like, oh yeah, we know, we saw that he did the show and all that. And the female half of the duo was like, we should perform together. Like, yeah, it's like drunken promises, even though you're not drunk. But I've heard that before where people are like, oh, let's play together, and then we don't. Because it's usually like in a situation where it's like you just kind of can't. So on a cruise ship, I know it's highly, I wouldn't say regulated like it's, like gambling or something where it's like, that's regulated. But they do have a sense of like, we have our performers we hired for a reason. We don't want just Joe Schmo Eskimo getting up on the stage and thinking they're part of it. So they don't have security standing like this and keeping you away from it. But on the other hand, they very much cast the vibe like, sit down and enjoy the show, but don't be getting up here unless you're asked to be up there, which is basically never. You can do the dance floor, that's different, that's wide open. But if you want to get up on the stage and sing in the microphone, nope. Unless it's karaoke time and they have a designated area for that, but that ain't the stage. At least on the Paradise, the stage in question, because that'd be the Euphoria Lounge. Well, between sets, I asked them, like the next time, I said, do you really want to perform together? Like, well, yeah, we absolutely do. Like, but what song do you want to do? They go, well, I just did La Bamba. Like, I practiced my heart out and all this because it was a song I didn't really know. Hate to say it, but, whitey white bread over here. I didn't realize at the start of La Bamba is para baila la bamba, he says, struggling. I thought it was just literally like bana bana la bamba. Did not know there were Spanish words leading into it. I know there was like Spanish everything else, but like going into it, I really didn't know it was Spanish from the off. Well, going, great, let's do La Bamba, like the following day. Well, the following day I had really bad allergies. And I was like, I can't. This could be a cold, it could be the flu, it could be COVID, it could be anything, I don't know. I think it's just allergies, but I was like holding a Kleenex to my face and standing back like, I can't. I really can't. I'm so sorry. But we were on an extended cruise of a 3-night instead of a 2-night. That final night, things cleared up enough that, it was just allergies at the time. Something was really setting my nose off somewhere on the boat. And it wasn't in the usual places that people are always saying that, oh my God, that hallway stunk. Or whatever. It wasn't any of that. I just was in an unusual spot on the boat that I'm not normally in. And I think that something was going on in there. Like, I don't know if it's the cleaning products they use or something, but some cologne or perfume that somebody was wearing or whatever, but really went right to the schnoz and just really turned on the waterworks, as it were. Only, not waterworks. So I said, okay, yes, all good. And they called me up on stage and said, we now ask Ethan to come up here and join us to perform a song. So it was very, very by the book, very official, like the band taking full credit or full responsibility. Like, he's up here because we asked him to be here, not because he's like charging up here or boosting his way on stage. Again, like I've seen other people do. And again, it's so shameful when people act like that. They do provide karaoke, so if you want to be the next cruise ship idol, they definitely give you the opportunity to do that. And to be fair, I've heard some amazing karaoke on different cruise ships. God, there was a woman on Disney, she just absolutely lit it up. She did Barbara. And Jamie was like, this can only go one of two ways, amazing or horrific. And she went the amazing route. And everyone's like, are you some kind of professional or something? That was just the song that she just loved to sing, and she really poured her heart and soul into it and just won the night. There was another woman on Margaritaville that we saw that she I think Shirley was like a trained singer, because she really was just going all in with Unchained Melody. So again, that it's there for you if you want it. But to just get up on stage and grab the microphone, like literally I saw somebody get up on the stage, shove this guy out of the way, take his microphone and sing backup. And it was horrible. I mean, I really thought that security was going to come along and like tackle him to the ground, but security apparently wasn't around to do that. And the band just kind of was like, just wait for the song to end. We'll just kind of see what develops. And they just kind of wandered off after that song was done. But that could have gone way, way, way worse. At Disney, if you pull that move, and like by Disney, I mean Disney Springs, you pull that move, security will be there to see you promptly if you're going to get up on stage without being invited on the stage. And again, bands that I've seen at Disney Springs are very picky, choosy about whether or not you can come on the stage and why. Here's a made-up example. Like, imagine David Gilmour happened to be in town, and the band is all big Pink Floyd nuts, and they know that he's like, oh my God, there's David Gilmour right there in the audience. Hey, David Gilmour, come up here and play Pink Floyd music with us. He may or may not want to, but, you know, that would be a situation where it's like, yes, heaven and earth will move to get David Gilmour on the stage, and he's authorized, and people probably know who that is. But a lot of times what they would do is be like, come up to the front, like where the stage aprons. So don't get up here, but just come up here and I'll crouch down and I'll put the microphone to you and ask you a question or something, or you can sing a word or whatever, you know, but you can't come up here. It might be for insurance. It could just be for personal safety. It could be all the crap they got everywhere. I mean, Lord knows. I had the grandkids over once, and Jamie was like cringing, like, you sure you want them around your stuff? Like, it's fine, you know. What you don't see, and I'll turn the camera around, is all my Lego stuff. And they just absolutely went in for that. And I told them, I said, not to be like the Lego movie or Toy Story 2. I said, just don't take the stuff apart and make it into something else. I mean, I've spent a lot of money on these figures and stuff. So just if you can keep Deadpool looking like Deadpool, you can play with Deadpool. I think that's a fair thing. I mean, I would rather not be that guy where it's like, they cannot even be touched. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'm starting to kind of get back into the musical jazz here. I want to reinforce I am not doing gear reviews anymore. If you happen to notice that I use a piece of gear, that's great. Sometimes I label it for context so you know like what's plugged into what. That's not GearTube. That's just context. But if you want GearTube and you want gear reviews and gear this and gear that, there is any number of channels out there that will happily service your requests to do it. And I'm even noticing some of the big hitters are pulling back from it. Not to say 100%, because I think the monetization is too strong for them to fully back out, but they're toning it down. Like, some of this really was getting pretty obnoxious. Like Korg would come up with some new synthesizer or whatever, and that's all my feed would be. Is it's like, Bo Beats has to tell you all about it, and so does Venus Theory, and so does someone else, and someone on Ricky Tinez and all that. It's like, and then wait 3 days, and then Arturia comes up with something new, and then ding, 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 ding. That's my feed. Everyone talking about it, and it's like, come on, this is just so like. Do you just have nothing else to do around here? But I get it. Like, it pays the bills. It keeps their channels running. And they're very sophisticated channels, very high-end production compared to, you know, me with the backup cell phone I'm using right now. But I'm not GearTube. I don't want to chase gear. I don't have that kind of money. If I did, I'd be on a cruise. So, no. But I'm starting to get back into the electronic stuff now that I'm done practicing for the show and kind of like figuring I'm done doing solo acoustic / singing the track shows for the rest of the year. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what's happening here on Easton's side of the room. I'm not dissing this because it's very ebb and flow, right? So Jamie went a while and nothing. Now she's got like video after video either up or in the pipeline, or I have to edit it. And then meanwhile I got like, nothing. And now I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I sit down and talk to the camera and tell you what's happening just so you kind of know what's over here. But just the same, if you like, please like and subscribe. I know this is a video that may not really lend itself to that, but you know, just if you want to keep me on the radar and see what else I'm doing, I certainly appreciate it. Adding me as a subscribe takes minimal effort, and you can always delete it later. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.